My beloved child, listen to me very carefully, because what I am saying right now is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to free you. Something within you has reached its final hour, and you can already feel it even if you don't have words for it yet. There is a quiet heaviness in your chest, a strange pause in your thoughts, a sense that the version of you who kept surviving, tolerating, and staying silent can no longer continue. Don't skip this moment. Stay with me. For a long time, you have been carrying an innocent part of yourself that never learned how to protect its own light. You gave chances where boundaries were needed. You stayed loyal where honesty was missing. You smiled in places that slowly drained your spirit. And now, time has caught up. Not to punish you, but to release you. The ending that is approaching is not about loss, it is about transformation. What feels intense right now is simply the truth finally arriving. You may notice signs already. Old habits no longer satisfy you. Certain people feel distant without doing anything wrong. Conversations that once mattered now feel empty. This is not confusion. This is clarity arriving quietly. The innocent soul that always put others first is tired, and something far wiser is stepping forward. This shift cannot be delayed anymore. It has its own timing, and it is happening whether you are ready or not. Here is what most people never realize. When a chapter closes inside you, the world reacts before you do. Situations rearrange. Delays happen. Unexpected pauses appear. It may feel uncomfortable, but it is precise. Every delay you faced recently had a purpose. Every unanswered message was protection. Every missed opportunity was redirection. Nothing was random. I want you to breathe here. You are not being abandoned. You are being upgraded. The innocent version of you that believed pain was normal is gently being laid to rest so a stronger, clearer version can finally live. This is why you are here right now, listening. Not by accident. Not by chance. Stay till the end of this journey with me. This is not the end of you, this is the moment you stop shrinking. What is approaching is not darkness, it is relief. And as this unfolds, you will understand why it had to happen exactly like this, and exactly now. Before you even realized it, your silence started speaking louder than your words. Something shifted the moment you stopped explaining yourself to people who never truly listened. This is where the real change begins. What is ending is not your life, it is the pattern that kept you small, obedient, and endlessly patient with things that hurt you quietly. You've been stronger than you admit. You survived moments you never talked about. You held yourself together when nobody noticed you were breaking. And now, that innocent soul who kept absorbing pain without complaint is being released. Not erased. Released. There is a big difference. You are not losing your kindness, you are losing your self-neglect. Pay attention to this part, don't scroll away. The reason this feels intense is because clarity always arrives before relief. You are seeing people, situations, and even yourself without filters now. That is why some connections suddenly feel heavy. That is why certain routines feel unbearable. Your spirit has outgrown the version of you that stayed just to keep peace. Here's the revelation most never hear. When something pure inside you finishes its purpose, it does not collapse loudly. It fades gently. You may feel unusually calm one moment and emotional the next. That is not weakness. That is alignment happening in real time. You are being prepared for a role you could not step into before. If this message is touching something deep inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who has been silently struggling. Leave a comment about what you are feeling right now, even if it's just one word. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so you don't miss what comes next, because this journey is unfolding step by step. You are not late. You are not broken. You are right on time. What is leaving you had to leave so what's meant for you can finally stay. And as we move forward, you'll start noticing a strange peace replacing the fear. That's how you'll know this ending was necessary, and this beginning is real. The moment you stopped chasing approval, the universe leaned in and paid attention. This is not coincidence. This is consequence. Something inside you made a decision before your mind could argue, and now life is responding to that choice with unusual speed. Right now, you are standing in a narrow space between who you were and who you are becoming. That's why everything feels sharper. Your intuition is louder. Your tolerance is lower. Your heart no longer agrees to deals that drain it. The innocent soul that kept saying, "It's okay," when it wasn't is gently stepping aside. And in its place, awareness is rising. Don't skip this part. People think growth arrives with fireworks, but real growth arrives with truth. You are finally seeing how much you gave and how little you received back. You are recognizing how often you dimmed your light just to be accepted. That realization changes everything. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. Here's what's powerful. This shift is happening quietly, so quietly that others may not notice yet. But they will. They'll feel the distance. They'll sense the difference in how you respond, how you choose, how you walk away without drama. You are no longer explaining your worth. You are embodying it. There is also a blessing hidden here. The end of innocence does not mean the end of love. It means love with wisdom. Love with boundaries. Love that does not cost you your peace. You are being prepared to receive something cleaner, calmer, and far more aligned than what you tolerated before. You might feel a strange mix of relief and grief. Relief because you're finally choosing yourself. Grief because you're letting go of who you had to be to survive. Both emotions are valid. Both are temporary. What lasts is the strength being formed right now. This is not about rushing forward. It's about standing still long enough to realize you are no longer the same person who started this journey. And as we move closer, you'll notice your fear shrinking and your clarity expanding. That's the sign. Not noise. Not chaos. Just quiet certainty settling in. There comes a point when the soul stops whispering and starts deciding. That point is now. You may not announce it, you may not even fully understand it yet, but a line has been crossed inside you. You are no longer available for confusion, half-love, or borrowed energy. What's powerful here is not what you're leaving behind, but what you're refusing to carry forward. Old guilt doesn't work on you anymore. Old fears don't control you the same way. You've noticed it, haven't you? The way certain words don't hurt like they used to. The way silence feels safer than forced conversations. That's not emotional shutdown. That's emotional maturity being born. Don't rush past this moment. This is the space where strength forms quietly. The innocent soul that once believed everyone's intentions were pure has completed its role. It taught you compassion. It taught you patience. Now, wisdom steps in to protect what compassion built. Here's something few people talk about. When you stop betraying yourself, life rearranges very fast. You may feel slightly detached, slightly observant, like you're watching things instead of drowning in them. That distance is not coldness. It's clarity. You're learning when to step in and when to step back, and that skill will change everything ahead. If this message feels real to you, pass it on. Share this with someone who needs strength more than motivation right now. Leave a comment about what part of you feels like it's changing, even if you can't explain it fully. And make sure you're subscribed, because this journey doesn't jump, it unfolds, and missing one step can blur the meaning of the next. You are not losing yourself. You are finally meeting yourself without filters. And as we continue forward, you'll feel less urgency to prove anything and more confidence to simply exist as you are. That's how you'll know this transition is working. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just undeniably real. Sometimes the clearest sign of growth is how calm you remain when old triggers try to pull you back. Notice this carefully. The things that once made you panic now make you pause. The voices that once controlled your choices now sound distant. This is not numbness. This is self-respect settling into place. You are beginning to understand something deeply important. Not every door needs closure. Not every question needs an answer. Some chapters end the moment you stop rereading them. The innocent soul within you believed healing meant fixing everything. The wiser part of you now knows healing often means releasing control. Stay with me here. What's happening is subtle but powerful. Your energy is becoming selective. You're no longer everywhere for everyone. You're learning that being available is different from being accessible. And because of that, your presence is starting to carry weight. People feel it even if they don't understand it. There's also a quiet strength forming in how you speak to yourself. The inner voice that once blamed you is softening. In its place is honesty without cruelty. You're no longer asking, "What's wrong with me?" You're asking, "What do I need right now?" That single shift changes the direction of a life. Here's a truth meant just for you. The part of you that is ending was never weak. It was brave for surviving as long as it did. But survival is not the destination. Living fully is. And that requires letting go of identities built only to endure pain. As we move closer, you may feel moments of unexpected peace. Don't question them. Let them arrive. They are signs that you're aligning with something cleaner, lighter, and more honest than before. Nothing is being taken from you. Something is being returned. You don't need to rush this process. You don't need to explain it to anyone. Just keep listening inward. What's unfolding now is not loud, but it is permanent. And step by step, without force, you're walking into a version of yourself that no longer needs to be innocent to be kind, or small to be loved. At some point, you stop asking for signs and start recognizing patterns. That's where you are now. You're noticing who shows up with consistency and who only appears when it's convenient. You're sensing which paths feel heavy before you even take a step. This awareness didn't come overnight. It was earned through moments that tested you quietly. What's changing now is your relationship with time. You no longer rush to respond. You no longer hurry to decide. There's a calm authority growing in you that says, "I'll move when it feels right." That alone protects you from so much unnecessary weight. The innocent part of you once believed urgency meant importance. The wiser part understands that peace is the real signal. Don't look away here. This phase can feel lonely at first, not because you are alone, but because you're no longer crowded by noise. You're learning to sit with yourself without distraction. And in that space, something powerful happens. You hear your own truth without interruption. Here's a grounding blessing for you. May your clarity grow stronger than your doubt. May your choices come from self-respect, not fear. May what leaves your life make room for what truly supports you. You don't need to force this blessing. It's already aligning with you because you chose honesty over comfort. You might notice people reacting differently to you now. Some will respect you more. Some will feel unsettled. Both reactions are signs you are no longer playing a role. You're standing as yourself, without apology, without explanation. This is not the climax. This is the deepening. The part where roots grow instead of branches showing. Keep walking at this pace. Nothing needs to be rushed. What's unfolding is steady, intentional, and real. And as we continue, you'll feel more grounded in who you are becoming, without needing to announce it to the world. There is a quiet courage forming in you now, the kind that doesn't need validation. You're no longer waiting for permission to choose yourself. You're simply doing it, calmly, without drama. That shift alone changes how life meets you. You may feel moments where the past tries to call you back, not because it has power, but because it recognizes it's losing access. Old memories may surface. Old emotions may knock. This doesn't mean you're going backward. It means those chapters are closing properly, without being rushed or suppressed. Stay present here. You are learning discernment. You're realizing that not every emotion deserves a reaction, and not every situation deserves your energy. The innocent soul within you once believed being good meant being endlessly available. Now you understand that being whole means being selective. Something else is happening too. Your intuition is sharpening. You sense things before they're said. You feel when something is off without needing proof. This isn't suspicion. It's alignment. You're finally trusting yourself more than outside noise, and that trust will guide you where logic never could. There's a gentle reassurance meant for you in this phase. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to outgrow what once felt right. Growth does not require justification. It only requires honesty, and you've been honest with yourself in ways that matter. As this continues, you'll notice your reactions becoming slower but stronger. When you speak, it carries weight. When you decide, it sticks. You're not testing waters anymore. You're choosing direction. And that direction feels quieter, but far more certain. This is not about becoming harder. It's about becoming clearer. Clear in your values. Clear in your limits. Clear in what you deserve without asking for it. Keep moving at this pace. Nothing here is random. Each realization is placing you exactly where you need to be for what's next. What you're experiencing now is a deep internal reset, the kind that doesn't ask for attention but demands honesty. You're no longer trying to be understood by everyone, and that alone is freeing more energy than you realize. When you stop explaining yourself, you start hearing yourself clearly. There's a subtle confidence growing in the way you move through moments. You don't rush to defend your feelings. You don't chase reassurance. You're beginning to trust that what feels wrong will reveal itself without you forcing clarity. That trust is new, and it's powerful. Don't drift away here. This phase matters. The reason everything feels slower is because you're no longer running from yourself. You're present. You're aware. You're choosing responses instead of reacting from old wounds. That's not loss of innocence, that's the birth of inner authority. Here's a truth that lands gently but changes everything. The part of you that is ending was built to survive chaos. The part of you that is rising is built to sustain peace. That's why chaos feels exhausting now. That's why drama feels unnecessary. Your nervous system is learning a new language, one that speaks in calm instead of urgency. You may notice a strange clarity around your future, not in details, but in feeling. You don't know exactly how things will unfold, but you know what you will no longer accept. That boundary alone will guide you better than any plan ever could. Let this settle in. You are not becoming distant, you are becoming deliberate. You're learning that your energy is sacred, not unlimited. And because you're honoring it now, life will begin to honor it too, often in quiet ways you'll only notice later. This is not a pause. This is preparation. A steady, grounded kind that doesn't announce itself but changes everything beneath the surface. Keep listening inward. The closer you get to yourself, the less noise the world needs to make to guide you forward. There's a moment when you realize you're no longer afraid of losing what was never truly aligned. That moment is settling into you now. You're not forcing detachment, it's happening naturally. The grip loosens. The need fades. And what remains is a steady sense of self that doesn't shake when circumstances change. You're beginning to value depth over intensity. Loud promises don't impress you anymore. You listen for consistency, for presence, for the quiet actions that don't need applause. This shift is subtle, but it's reshaping your standards in ways that will protect your peace for a long time. Stay with this feeling. You're learning to sit in uncertainty without panic. To let answers arrive instead of chasing them. That patience isn't passive, it's powerful. It allows the truth to reveal itself without distortion. And when truth arrives this way, it sticks. There's a blessing unfolding here that feels simple but is rare. You're reconnecting with your own rhythm. Sleeping when you're tired. Speaking when it's true. Resting without guilt. This isn't withdrawal from life, it's alignment with it. When you honor your rhythm, life meets you halfway. Notice how your compassion is changing. You still care, but you no longer carry what isn't yours. You offer understanding without self-erasure. That balance is new, and it's a sign of real growth. Kindness that includes you is the kind that lasts. As this continues, you'll feel less pulled by external pressure and more guided by internal clarity. Decisions will feel cleaner. Choices will feel lighter. Not because everything is easy, but because you're no longer negotiating with your own values. You're not nearing an ending, you're settling into a foundation. Solid. Quiet. Trustworthy. And from this place, everything that comes next will have room to grow without chaos. Keep breathing into this steadiness. It's becoming your new normal.